And welcome back to part one of a new What If. As you can tell by this, what if, let's actually just increase the size of that real quick. What if Obito had kidnapped and raised Naruto? Now this comes to us from several people, and I might not be getting everyone on this, I apologize if I forget you, but Slayer 1997, 1997-8, Morin, and Fabian S. Now, I think there's a few more people who have suggested that, but believe it or not, I couldn't find anyone else in my list, in my booklet. Now, if there are, I'm sorry I forgot you, but there's just so many people in there that sometimes things will get lost in the fray. But this is one of a couple people that are asking for, and I can see why. It's a weird what if. Is he going to raise him evil? Will he be turned good by Naruto as he was in the original series? What happens? Well, first off, we have to understand the circumstances behind how he kidnaps Naruto. It would have to take place after he had the fox sealed within him. The reason for that is he would have no objective of stealing Naruto after. Like, he had Naruto right here. Right here, he had Naruto. You see him? Right there. Right there's the kid. So he had him. He could have just taken him right there, and there's nothing they honestly could have done about it. He could just hide out at him. But that wasn't his goal at the time. His goal was to unleash the fox, and that failed. So instead, I would bet you that as soon as he saw that, he'd stick around long enough to see Minato seal the fox within his son, and then he can kill two birds with one stone. He can have the fox officially and steal his sensei's kid and get revenge in that way. So as Minato is dying, he sees Toby, as he would be, Madara, and basically just comes in and swipes him. Just as the third's about to come in and stop him, he just disappears with Naruto. Now the third is just, oh, no. So the third's now just feeling like complete crap. Excuse me. He has to relay this to everyone that the fourth was close to. And Kakashi is just devastated to hear this. Jiraiya is livid and spends probably the majority of his time, not just other than his spine or trying to find Naruto. He'll get bits and pieces here and there, but ultimately he can't find Naruto. Because if he can't find the Akatsuki, he can't find Naruto. And real quick, just to say what would go on in the village, not a lot actually changes with the village, except for a few key things. Now, the Uchiha massacre will still happen. Granted, it won't be the same coup that would involve releasing the nine-tailed fox, but it would still be a coup nonetheless, and then Itachi has to go in and kill everybody except Sasuke. Again, asking for Madara Obito's help. Hinata doesn't develop a crush on Naruto because Naruto's just not there. So does she develop a crush on anyone? Well, probably not. There really doesn't seem like there's anyone else in the village who really striked her interest in any real way. So that's a thing as well. Other than that, though, I will add Sai on the Team 7. I think that's legitimate. Now, do they pass their bell test? With about the same difficulty, just in a different standpoint that they did in the original. So I do think Team 7 manages to be formed. Pretty much everything that happens up until, and I'm skipping ahead to when eventually Naruto will get introduced to them. Right around the end of the Sand and Sound Invasion, everything around that goes about the same, with some very big exceptions. Not the end, but right around the Chunin exams. So, what is going on otherwise, on the other side of the fence? Well, obviously, Obito is now realizing, crap, I have to raise a kid. I didn't think this through. So he would enlist the help of some of the Akatsuki, particularly Konan. I think she'd be very much willing to help raise Naruto. And basically they explain, it's like, we have the Nine Tails. We don't need to go after the Leaf at all. Unless a Jinchuriki or a Tailby somehow winds up the Leaf, we're good. We can stay away from there. Now we can race him. We can even use him to get the other Jinchuriki. He will be a major advantage, and we will mold him into something that will serve us. So when the time comes to extract the Kyuubi, because they make mention in the series that they can't extract the the fox first, because the fox, because he's the strongest, he would wreck it all. He'd actually destroy the statue if they absorbed him first. They'd need the chakra of all the other tail beasts to offset the Kyuubi, to offset Kurama. So they'll save him for last, while ultimately getting all the other tail beasts and even using him as a weapon. So, and then Pain's just like, very well, we will raise it. Conan's like, yes, Pain. So, that's what's going to be going down. So, over the years, though, what happens? Well, here's the thing. I think Naruto is still very much that lovable kid that you kind of get. But he has a family. In fact, I think he actually does kind of endear himself onto a couple people. Now, mostly he's interacting with Obito, Konan, and I think to some extent Pain as well. Most of the other guys, not so much, because Obito's not stupid. He can't just, unless they're using him for training, or using them for training, it's not good to endear himself to too many people. But Obito, even shows him his face and all that, explains in an altered backstory what happened. He explains how the leaf did this to me, Naruto. It's like, what do you mean, Dad? What do you mean, Tosin? And it's like, the leaf did this, and he explains more or less the story. What happens, like, I was friend, then they left me, and I was happy, but then they betrayed. He killed them. They betrayed her. They killed her. They killed my friend, someone I loved very much. Was she my mom? Was she mom? And it's like, and then he's asked if she was mom, and Obito actually, hesitates a little bit, because it's like, he loved Rin, and he's, the idea of him and Rin being parents, being together, it hurt him a lot. It kind of breaks his heart. Like, she wasn't your mother, but she was someone that I cared very much for. And so it was basically, he explains to them how it reaffirmed that there is just war and hatred in this world, and that's the goal of the Akatsuki, Naruto, is to bring peace to the world. The only way to do that is to bring the tail beast, and he explains the tail beast using maybe a genjutsu, a small one, or maybe he even uses Kona to use her origami to make the tail beast into origami and explain it to Kid Naruto. The tail beasts are beings of great power. Together, if we bring them together, we'll be able to bring peace to the world. You, Naruto, you actually hold the strongest tail. You're special. Do you know why you're special, Naruto? Besides the fact you're my little guy, it's because you hold the tail beast inside you. And, he probably would explain this early on. Say, that's okay, because you are in control. You have him at your mercy. And we'll teach you to use his power so we can help collect the other tail beasts. And then we can bring them together. And you can help bring peace to the world. And he just spends his life, basically Naruto's young life, at least up until he's about 12, 13, ingraining this idea into Naruto's head that, this is all for the greater good. This is all what it needs to be. Now, Obito and everyone else in Pain would be very much training Naruto. Like, they'll make sure he's not as strong as they are, because if he goes crazy, then, we got a problem. But fortunately, they also have Genju, their Sharingan, between Itachi and Obito, when Itachi eventually shows up, to keep the fox in check, or even take control of the fox, take control of Naruto, if for some reason he didn't go along with plans. Luckily, he seems to be very coherent and compliant. And in terms of how strong Naruto would be, Naruto easily, because he's getting such high-grade training at this point, is easily in the Chunin to low Jonin level by the age of 12. Hell, by the time Itachi joins, he's probably easily in the Chunin level, focusing primarily on his Winjutsu, maybe even showing off the Shadow Clone Jutsu to him. I think it's possible. Although we don't know if any of them actually knew the Shadow Clone Jutsu, because the only Konoha ninjas that ever joined Akatsuki were Orochimaru, who might have been there once Obito brought Naruto back, though I doubt it. And even if he was, I'm sure Obito would have kept him clear away from Orochimaru. Obito, Itachi, and Orochimaru. I think Orochimaru is probably the only one who actually maybe knows the Shadow Clone Jutsu, because we know Itachi's chakra reserves actually aren't very large, all things considered. That's actually been stated, that his chakra reserves really aren't that big. So he had to, it's kind of like Kakashi. Kakashi also has below average chakra reserves. So he had to compensate with excellent chakra control and getting those reserves up. So, but practicing lots of Winjutsu, probably learning him to control and harness the Fox Chakra, which just makes Kurama hate Naruto even more. Like, just lividly hates him. Because he's basically just subjecting him, and Kurama knows exactly what's coming because he can see the statue whenever Obito shows off the statue. So he's not liking this at all. He's not liking this scenario. And then we get right around, I can't remember when Itachi actually killed the clan, but it was probably right around the age of 6 or 7 for Naruto and Sasuke, because they're roughly speaking the same age. Itachi, goes to Obito, asks for help, and, he does it. And then he gets introduced briefly to Naruto. Now remember, Itachi was a double agent. He saw Naruto there, and he realizes that, Naruto, because he realizes who this is, by what the third Hokage has basically stated about, looking for this guy, looking for this kid. So he immediately knows who he is. Like, hi, I'm Naruto. You defected from the Leaf, huh? Good for you. There's nothing, and he basically goes off on a little spiel about how the Leaf's terrible. Like that. Obito's like, that's enough, Naruto. That's enough, son. You should go back to get your training. All right, I'm gonna go train Okana. Okay, all right, bye. It's like, your son, Naruto's your son, adoptive. Trust me, we have attained we had a great fortune that day when the fox attacked. We were able to, even though the attack on the Leaf did not go as planned, we were able to reclaim him nonetheless, and we will be able to use him for the future, our future endeavors. So it's like, right. So now Itachi's like, oh god, I gotta do something. He's got to secretly somehow relay the information to the Leaf that Naruto is held by the Akatsuki, and that he's being trained to take them out. So I think he's able to secretly slip some information through a crow or something along those lines while he's out and about on a mission with Kisame. And again, they have no actual reason to visit the Leaf like when they originally did. So they, the third hears about this. Unfortunately, it's probably been a while, so it's like after the Zabuza arc, right before the Chunin exams, he hears about this. That's why, honestly, he summons Jiraiya, I would imagine, because, he hears about Naruto being there, so, it's like Naruto's being held by the Akatsuki. It would seem they're brainwashing him. Now, it's not, I can't remember, I think they had 2 TLBs by the end of the original series, I believe. So they at that point they probably helped collect them, and at that point, right around the beginning of the Chunin exams, the Akatsuki get wind that that Shikaku is in the Leaf, and that Shikaku, being the weakest of them, would be an apt target to acquire. And with that, they send Naruto in after the Shikaku, after Gaara, just to bide his time and wait. So Naruto is basically just blending in with the crowd. He's not even a ninja in the crowd or in the exams. He's just blending in as a civilian. So when Gaara starts to go crazy, he goes in, follows after him as Sasuke and Gaara duke it out, and Sasuke says everything is pretty much played to form at this point. And he's like, yes, does it like me feel alive? Sasuke Uchiha! And as he's about to just come at Sasuke, all of a sudden, boom, a blast of wind, like a slice of wind, just cuts off the sand. Who is it? Sorry, but I'm going to need you to come with me. Shikaku. I said, yeah, who are you? Sorry, I'm sorry, but I don't have time for names. So basically, and I think at this point he also would have been taught sealing, some like paralysis juice, all that kind of stuff, because he's designed as basically a Jinchuriki taker, hunter, tracker. So he comes in, and they start duking it out, and Naruto's just throwing Winjutsu at him, like the tornado fist explosion, and all that stuff. Compared to Gaara, he's a master of Winjutsu. He's throwing a couple other techniques out there. I think they would have taught him fire style jutsu. Combines it, basically starts to turn Shikaku into glass. turns into giant Shikaku, which, it sucks for Naruto, or does it? Because, thanks to the summoning jutsus of a couple, I think he would have gathered a little bit of jutsu here and there from all the other Akatsuki members, particularly from Pain, who gave him the summoning contract of the Deva Path. Now, that's the thing. Is there a summoning contract? We know there is. It's just that, not the Deva Path, sorry, the Animal Path. There's got to be a summoning contract, because it's not just, you just can't inherently summon something without a contract, even if you do the seals. But he gave Naruto access to one of the path's powers. It would be the summoning. I think that'd be the easiest one to give him access to. Ooh, excuse me. So, pardon me, my acid reflux has been... Fortunately, I got my meds finally refilled, and so I'll be hopefully getting rid of this pretty soon. He summons, let's say, the dog, and the dog splits. No matter how many times Shikaku Gaara, hits the dog, it just keeps splitting. Naruto's finally gets ready for jutsu, and he basically rushes in and grabs Gaara, and just wakes him up, because at this point he'd be Shikaku crazy. But grabs about the he wakes up, he's what are you doing? He's like, yeah, I told you. And then you're coming with me. And then he doesn't put him to sleep. He basically just knocks him out. And as Shikaku's again about to come back, he puts a seal on him, taught to him by a couple of because I'm sure a lot of them knew some levels of seals, especially to maybe extract Jinchuriki. He just basically takes out the he puts a seal on to keep Shikaku at bay, and basically Shikaku falls to the wayside, and Sasuke's just looking. I was like, what's going on here? Naruto finally was like, mission. He mumbles to himself like, mission complete, and then he just kind of looks over to Sasuke. He's like, you look familiar. You Itachi's little brother? You know Itachi? Oh yeah. He's a bit, he's kind of like an older brother to me. I kind of look up to him. I guess that kind of makes us family, doesn't it? Well, I'd love to stay and chat, but I gotta get going. Bye. And then he just rushes out. Now, as he's rushing out, the word, as he's leaving the village, the word gets out that someone took down Shikaku. Who was it? It was this blonde ninja. And Blonde's like, Naruto came, he took Shikaku. We got to go after him. He can't be too far. And so the race is now on to get Naruto, to try to intercept Naruto while, he's bringing the Shikaku back to the Akatsuki and meeting up, I think, with Itachi and Kasame midway. I think this was kind of like they were keeping an eye on him. But ultimately sorry, I blanked on that. Ultimately, they wanted him to do it on his own. So we're going to end it there for right now with, just a minute. Ultimately, we're going to just end it there. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.